Pete, what was your lowest and how did you get out of the situation?
I want to know what
Whoa, that's pretty. Damn, why did you read that one?
That's the latest comment.
The lowest I ever had was...
I can tell you, I've seen it.
Toilet
the lowest that I'm willing to share.
Toilet paper.
Well, I did steal toilet paper from a public park once.
Oh, I've done that.
Yeah, well, I was just...
I did it just for the love of the game.
Well, I didn't do it for the love of the game. I was
game.
completely and utterly broke, and so I feel like I'd moved to Japan and I had taken this big risk and come all the way to this country with the dream of like success and just a great future. And what happened was, after 2 years, I was nearly penniless. I couldn't afford anything. I thought health insurance was optional, and it's not. So they garnished my wages. So I couldn't even afford food. I had to borrow money. I had to eat just eggs and rice. And I thought, this sucks really bad. I don't know. I hate my job. I hate my opportunities. I don't have any friends. Everybody I met was going home because their time was up. And I just thought, I'm 28. I don't have anything going for me, and I don't know what to do. And that lasted for about 6 months. But when I got out, I knew that if I started, that renewed my search for like, no one's gonna come out here and just help me.
Yeah, you gotta do it.
I gotta learn this myself. And I think that for my collegiate career, I'd been kind of coddled a little bit. I'd always been given some opportunities that maybe I deserved or didn't. And I finally learned that the only way I can get out of this mess is if I start making active choices to do that. So I started looking for a new job. I got lucky and found a high school that was near my place and that I could teach at. And that,
But you never would have got lucky if you didn't search for it.
I searched really hard for it. Yeah, it was pretty bleak though, man. I was pretty depressed. So yeah, that was like 28 years old.
So how did you, was there a turning point?
As
You
a
woke
baby.
up and you went, F it, I'm sorting this now.
No, I thought that the turning point for me was, I'm trying to remember, oh my God, like I'd come home and it was maybe last train because, I remember this. I went to the bank at, it was payday, and this was when they garnished my wages. And I went to the post office where my bank was, and I was like, I couldn't withdraw, there was nothing in there. And I was like, I don't know.
Must be a mistake.
I was like, there has to be a mistake, today's payday, and I had no money to go home, like nothing. And I was trying to talk to the teller, and they were like, no, you don't, you have to have, you don't have any money, we can't give you any money. And I was like, please, I don't know, let me try a different bank book, nothing. And this woman was like, let him take some money out. And they were like, no. So I had to go to the police station, the Koban, and they will give you enough money to take your train home and then send you a bill to pay it back later.
Really?
They won't like.
Oh, wow.
I was like 45 minutes from home by train. And so I was debating with these people for hours. I got home, it was like 11, couldn't even get food. So I walked back, I opened my fridge, and I was like, oh, how lucky, ice.
And you salted it?
I salted it, I put it on the fryer,
Ice soup.
and then I was like, oh, that tasted great. And that's why I made a joke a few days ago. I was like,
soup.
well, the hungriest I've ever been, like the best food is just sleep. You just like, because you can't eat anything, you don't have any money. So I woke up and I called my mom, and she Western Union money to me, which is like even harder to get. So,
Yeah.
So but that's another story in itself. But like, I thought, okay, this is so. I always told myself I wanted to live in Japan, and I'm here now, and I should be thankful. But I've got to do something about this. So I started cold calling different companies, and Interact, for its many faults, somehow
Oh, really?
got me an amazing opportunity.
I didn't know it was Interact.
It was.
Damn.
So I got out of it, but then even that took like 2 or 3 more years just to.
Yeah.
So somebody was asking me the other day, they were like, how cool is that? You just get to see all of Japan all the time. I go, well, my first decade, I saw none
You
of Japan.
worked very hard to get there.
Well,
Yeah.
and even then I was like, I met you guys, and I was saying that you guys bring me along all these adventures. So vicariously, I've seen 30 prefectures, 20 different cool attractions. But when I was here for my first decade, it was, I know this road, and kitchen origin bento.
You should write a book. I'd be really interested.
I can give you all the tools on how to
By
steal
the
By
toilet
the way,
paper.
this guy said writing 2 books is the worst thing he's ever done. So.
That was your low point? Was
That
being
was not
paid
my low
thousands
point.
of
No.
dollars to- Okay. But
It's tough. It wasn't my low point.
my
I think you
It's
should
cool
write. You
story.
should write a book about it. It would be fascinating.
yeah. you know, I talk to so many creators who look up to you guys. You know, they're like, and that's true though. It's like all the of the three of you.
That's so dumb. Why would they?
That's what my first message is. First of all, you're so dumb. But then they say like, well, it's not fair. I've been streaming and like, I just don't know if it's working. And I said, yeah, how old are you? And they'll be like, I'm 20 or 23, 28. And I said, that's great. And I'm glad that you've shown interest in it. But there is so much more of life experiences that may be necessary before you come back to this and it works. Because it's not, I didn't start streaming until I was 37, which is still 8 years away from where you're at now.
Yeah.
And you've done this for a decade already.
Yeah, over a decade.
You've done it for 13 years.
Something like that.
The shortest mouse stream is 3 years. So I mean like, but like those, I didn't have the life experiences yet to do that. But I stayed connected to the arts. I met really cool people. I never kind of gave up my dream of doing something that I wanted to do. Sometimes you just gotta wait. Man, being broke is a necessary evolution when you need to experience two things, I think. Completely being broke and working in service industry. It just gives you such an empathy of being like thankful for.
Yeah,
You did McDonald's.
I did McDonald's. Yeah.
It's pretty brutal.
That was no fun.
No.
Everyone was just like the worst human being ever.
Yep.
It was pretty gross.
What's wrong with McDonald's like? Did he come into work ever?
Yeah, man, in a limo.
Slap
And
you
he'd
up.
take one employee. And he wouldn't come back until 3 hours later.
Some were never seen again. Every year that starts in January, I always say like, okay, I know that like, I always predict at least 3 or 4 bad things that I can't predict are gonna happen. So when they do inevitably,
Roll with the punches.
roll with the punches. But I always remind myself
Do you not
of
have a
that.
credit card? But
For-
they ran out of money.
No, I couldn't get a credit card for 10 years.
Getting into debt is not the solution to this.
I mean, I just racked up credit card debt.
No, I didn't.
So I was always like, oh, there's another 1,000 in the overdraft. I can keep going.
Yeah, no.
So I never had that moment
my-
I ran out of money because I was so far into the overdraft.
My mum was a banker, so she was like, don't you dare ever touch a credit card. So I just assumed they were like, not
It's
for
good
me.
to do it if you can pay it off and get.
Well, I didn't know that.
credit.
Pay in full.
I was just taught like, don't ever get a credit card.
Good advice.
But in
Don't ever get
Japan, it's as a foreigner, it can hardly get. I don't have a credit card.
I don't
in
have
Japan.
one.
I've got my
Yeah, I know.
A&A credit
You
card.
wouldn't
No,
be running
no,
out of pennies
It's great.
anymore.
It's great because we have the same card, right? And whenever we go out drinking, we always do credit card roulette.
Oh, yes.
So whenever we go to the bar, everyone puts their cards in, and then we ask the staff to pick a card. And it's great because his is just the better looking version of mine.
It is.
So they never pick mine.
Well,
So
and
it's awesome. His is gold shining, and mine's like.
That was the other thing that I realized is if you ever spend even a week in Japan traveling or anything, inevitably you can ask, what's your favorite place? Where should I go? What should I do? The most memorable thing I've found 100% of the time is some random thing that you cannot predict, that you're going to have an interaction with the local, or you're going to be at an izakaya and someone's going to buy you a drink or whatever. So for me, I had millions of those where I would go to bars or izakaya, and my wife, my girlfriend at the time, she would say like, you should go out and meet friends, you know, you need to go out. And so I'd
Just
go
leave
there,
me alone.
Leave me alone. And I would go to the izakaya, the local one, and the bartenders know me, and I'd say, hey, here's my limit tonight. Not like drinking. I was like, I only have 2,000 yen. So
Cut
this
me
is
off at 2,000.
not even cut me, but like discreetly let me just give me a water. Like I don't want to worry about.
Give you the cheapest whiskey and
Yeah.
the cheapest soda.
And inevitably, we'd be talking, and then they'd be like, I'd be talking to a stranger, and they'd say, well, you know, you should get another drink. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. And they'd be like, no, it's my treat. And I'd be like, you really don't have to do that. And then inevitably, we'd be there for an extra 2 hours, meeting friends and having stories. And so I have like this ledger in my mind of like things I've got to return that favor.
Yeah.
I'll never see those people again, but I hopefully can. But
Yeah, I mean, that's why I always just like to pay for things.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's fun. What's the point of having money if you can't pay for your people around you? I got really depressed one time. I saw this tweet, and it really made me sad. It was someone was like, "I just traveled to Japan, and I'm sitting in the hotel room. I don't know what to do." And I was like, "That's the most depressing tweet I've ever seen."
You have an AT line.
Just go outside. I don't know, but it was depressing though. The thought that someone was willing to go to that length, but then not know how to execute it, like when they get there.
Just watch Abroad Japan. Loads of good ideas.
Don't leave the hotel room. Keep watching it as if you're there. What would you do, Maz, if you were in Japan? What was the first thing you'd go to? Not Sanrio store.
I don't know. I just walk around outside.
See, that's also so sick.
But you'll find something.
You'll find something. Just go
will.
into a store, talk to someone. So fun.
I just find something. I just not be in my hotel room. That's for sure.
Yeah. I think my mum knew I was going to be a reckless spender because the meals she fed me were the cheapest of the cheap, in a good way. Because it was like beans and toast every Tuesday night, which is great.
Every Tuesday night.
Every Tuesday night we had beans and toast. And then my favorite dish, which it sounds ridiculous, was just mashed potato with Spam. And you just mix it all up in a pan, and I would eat like 3 kilograms.
No way.
And I think she thought she was like, he's gonna get sick of this shit. And I was like, nah, give me more.
Yeah.
And then we had one called
special boy.
Scouse soup, because my dad's from Scouse, but they make a
Dickens is that?
Scouse is just like, you put like a couple of chunks of meat and then a bunch of veg and just stew it. And then they would make enough for like 4 days, and then we'd eat it every day.
Wow.
God,
And I remember being,
country.
I remember going to my mum. I was like, when are we gonna have not Scouse, Mum? I want the mashed potatoes.
Spam bag, please.
I want the Spam bag. She was like, no, you get what you're given. And I was like, I'm not. No, I miss that food.
That's hearty.
You grew up in Victorian England. What is this?
Pretty. What?
And then they sent me up the chimneys to clear them.
And then whenever I asked Mum, I was like, I want McDonald's. She'd be like, you're dumb. We're saving for vacation.
Work there, but don't eat it.
Yeah, you're like,
So
fine, I'll just work there.
Yeah, well, yeah, yeah. And then my mum always said, she was like, you'll get sick of it working there. And then like day 90 of working there, I was like, still tastes amazing. It's never gonna happen. I get to make my own sandwich now.
Did you have a custom that you would make that was like, I don't know?
Yeah, I mean, I would just add everything to because you get carried away when the toppings are free. But then the managers always get really annoyed.
Oh,
They'd be like, you can't add chicken nuggets to the Chicken Legend, it was called back then.
Right, yeah.
You remember the Chicken Legend? That was so fucking.
The best was my little cheat code at pizza places that I like to do. Is,
I
worked
pizza.
with several. But you, of course, like the jalapeno, pepperoni, green pepper, hot honey, whatever. You throw it in, and then it depends on the place. But some of them, the Pizza Huts and Domino's have like a rack that it slides through.
Like the hotel toaster.
Send that right back through, so it's
double
like,
crispy.
Oh, it's amazing.
That's a good idea.
All of it's really like the cheese
wow.
is nice and browned, and it's unbelievably good. You can actually order that. You're like, I want it sent through twice.
I think from the age of 18 to 25, I was constantly in 2000 in my overdraft.
Truthfully, I've never been in debt or anything.
Oh.
What do you mean? I just always saved.
Yeah, I suppose it's hard to get a credit card. Credit cards in Japan, it's like, are you foreign? Yes. No credit card for you.
Yeah.
So I've never really got one here.
But I got a loan for university, but then I got a scholarship as well. So I got a loan and scholarship.
You got a scholarship and then you rigged the game because
Your
teacher passed you because
but I got a
his daughter
scholarship.
was a CdawgVa fan.